So he 30s, in his 30s, right? So we would figure that he might be 25, 30. So that was during the time of what? When the Lord was born was during the time of the AD period, what the scholars call the AD period, and the BCE period, before the Christian era, AD, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. So he would have to be either closer 100 years old or a little bit more than 100 years old. But the angel said he's going to prophesy again. So you mean to tell me he's still living? There's no record of him ever prophesying. So that right there proves that reincarnation exists. All right? Is that it on that? All right.
And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings.
Right, so we can move on. Let's get some more footage of these so-called UFOs. All right? Now let's go from there. Oh, we're going into so many different scriptures. Now you went from Psalms to Deuteronomy. Then I told you to go to Psalms 91. But before you go there, give me the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, and start at the 9th verse.
Daniel 7 and 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
When you read this whole book, Daniel the 7th chapter, when you read that whole chapter, it's talking about all these kingdoms, and we had broken this down many a times. And the last kingdom to go down was what? This kingdom that we're living in right now. So this whole chapter, the 7th chapter is about to be fully revealed. I would say, what, 75, 80% of it is fulfilled. The last kingdom, you got the fourth beast, then you got the rebirth of the fourth beast, excuse me, which is America, NATO, and the EU. So now we're reading about how the Most High is going to bring down America, NATO, and the EU, and the UN. Go ahead.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
That's talking about the Supreme. Go ahead.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
Now, what is Daniel describing? He's describing a so-called UFO. Because when the Lord comes back, he's coming back in a UFO. Matter of fact, in the Apocrypha, it says the so-called UFO, or the ship that he's coming back in, it was so large that Ezra said he was on the top. He was on top of a mountain, and the mountain was flying in the air. That's how big that so-called UFO was. So you crackers, you're going to be terrified on that day. You're going to be pissing in your pants.
His throne was fire, and his wheels as fire. A fire issuing forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain.
Who's the beast? We've been breaking down who the beast is. It's the so-called white man's power structure. His military might that he trusts in so much. Your brother has something?
Yep. If you go to rinse.com, there's a section called UFO Through the Ages, a timeline. Basically, it gives you different historical accounts of UFO sightings. And here's one. It says, Alexander the Great, we call him Alexander the Crete, in 329 BC, via his historians, told of two strange objects in the sky that dived repeatedly at his army. And remember, Alexander the Crete is the one that took over the whole known world in 333 BC. These two strange objects in the sky that dived repeatedly at his army as they were attempting a river crossing. The action so panicked his elephants, horses, and men, they had to abandon the river crossing. So those UFOs, those two strange objects, which were UFOs, they were putting hell on Alexander the Crete. They had to abandon the river crossing until the following day. They were described as great silver shields. Now that links up with in the book of Psalms, where it speaks about the appearance of the UFOs. They were described as great silver shields spitting fire around the rims.
I know you want to bring some more stuff out, but just hold it right there. We're going to give it right back to you.